Karma is nothing special, holy, big, or anything like that. Karma just means action. So when you do a good action, there is a good karma. When you do a bad action, there is a bad karma. So karma simply means action. And the result of the karma or the consequence of karma depends entirely on the karma that we commit, right? So if you engage in positive karma, then we will have positive result. Negative karma, negative result. Very simple. So we are covering some of the stories from the last week, and we will follow with another one. So if you have this the book in English, it's on page number 128. Okay, 128. That's the second paragraph. Page number 128, second paragraph. So I'm not going to read the whole book, but I'm going to relate the story here. So there was once a Brahmin by the name of Ravi, who he used to keep two piles of stones, one white stone and one black stone, right? So every time when he goes to sleep, before he goes to sleep, he would recall all the good deeds that he had done, all the good karma that he had accumulated that day, and then he would, for every positive karma, good karma he had accumulated, he would stack one white pebble, white stone. For every negative karma or action that he had engaged with, he would stack up one black stone. So, so initially, in the beginning, he has so much of the black stones and so little of the white stones. But as he persevered with his practices and his observance, he was able to find out what negative deeds that he was doing and why he was doing that. And then also when he realizes what are the negative actions that he had committed, then he was able to find out the the antidote to the antidote to those negative actions, and he was able to revert those negative actions. When he did that, gradually on his the stone, the pile of pebbles, the white pebbles started to grow and the black pebble started to diminish. So this is actually a practice done by a lot of the Kadamba masters, the great masters from the ancient masters from Tibet, who, like Master Atisha and the direct disciples of Atisha, they are known as the Kadamba masters. So the Kadamba masters, they used to practice the same way. So every evening before sleeping, before they go to sleep, they would recollect all their good deeds and bad deeds, and then count them by using the measure of a stone or sometimes some other things. And then whatever negative deeds they have done, they would confess, and they will make sure that they don't make the same mistake twice. And gradually they will be able to do away with all the negative actions. Now, when we talk about positive deed and negative deed, we sometimes think, did we finish? So when we talk about the negative, positive action brings positive result, and negative action brings negative result, we always feel like, okay, there are so many bad people in the world who are enjoying luxurious life, happy life, joyful life, a lot of money, a lot of good friends and all that, powerful and all that. And then there are so many good people in the world who are suffering, no matter how hard they work, including myself. I work very hard, but every time I do not get the result or the reward that I should be getting. I do not get the recognition that I should be getting, so on and so forth. So when you think of that, it like that, it seems like law of causality or karma, yeah, does not work, right? But that's not the case. That's not the truth. Okay. as I said, all the consequences or the result that we experience, a joyful result as well as the joyful result as well as the unpleasant result, the joyful experiences and the unpleasant experiences, both are effects, a result, and the result comes after the cause, not during the cause or before the cause. The result or the effect always comes after the cause. The cause always precedes the result and the effect. Okay, so therefore, everything that we are enjoying today, everything that we are suffering today, is the effect, the cause, the consequence of karmic deeds, actions that we have accumulated in the past. It can be past in this life, it can be past in our previous lives as well. So therefore, there are so many people who do bad things and have a very good life, right? And then there are some people who do so many good things and have a very bad life, right? That is, if you look at it only from this life's point of view, then it seems so unfair. Then we always say life is unfair. People work so hard, they don't get paid well. People who don't work at all, they get a lot of money and all this and that. We always complain about, the 1% and the 90%, 98% and this kind of thing. So if you look at it from the with the understanding of how karma works, I think I shared this instance before too. In order for, let's say, very bad people, powerful bad people, to do so many bad things and seemingly enjoy what they are doing, to become such a powerful person in the first place, there has to be a cause and condition. So they did a lot of good things to become such a powerful person, a very powerful ruler, a very powerful king, or a very powerful leader, or this and that. But in order to become very powerful, they have done so many good things. And that thing actually resulted in them being able to enjoy a very powerful, luxurious, rich, healthy, wealthy, happy life. But at the same time, they are manipulating their precious life. They're manipulating their gift. And so therefore, as a result, they will be born in what we now consider as, in our day-to-day life, we would say, oh, these people, they are so kind, they are so good, but there are so many deaths in the family, so many people are sick, this and that. These are also results of the negative action they have done. So the bad people who are very powerful also comes the power, the privilege that they enjoy as a bad people to rule the world or to do so many evil things in the world. That does not come out of the blue. There is a cause and condition for that. And that is their own good karma, which they have done in the past life or in the past or in previous lives. And the negative things that we undergo, even after doing so many good things, that is also the result of the negative deeds that we have done. And more importantly, this is important, okay? Listen very carefully. When we engage in spiritual practices, when we seriously engage in spiritual practices, sometimes, not all of us, but some of us can get very sick, can become very unsuccessful in their our lives. A lot of death in the family, or loss of wealth and health and so on and so forth, especially when you start to do Dharma practice properly. And that is the result. Actually, if you have done so many negative things in the past, there is no other way but to undergo the consequence, the punishment, or the consequence, not really a punishment, because punishment means somebody else is, someone up there is looking at you and giving out those punishments. So it's not a punishment, it's the consequence. if you drink a lot of water, if you drink a lot of alcohol, and your liver gets ruined, it's not a punishment, it's a consequence, right? So similarly, being born in the hell realm or undergoing suffering, that's not a punishment. Nobody is wetting those punishment onto you. It is your own doing. So when we enjoy a luxurious or a very good life, or we undergo a very unpleasant life, that is all the consequence of our own actions. And the sooner we realize that, the better we become. So, my main point here is that because we have done so many negative things in the past, we have to undergo the negative consequences. And usually in the hell realms, and if you remember, the hell realms takes 5,000 years, 10,000 years, 1 million years, like that. So when we engage in our Dharma practices, we seriously engage in Dharma practices and try to purify our negative actions, then our consequences are minimized. So instead of having to be, for example, instead of having to undergo being burned in the hell realm, you can have a fever, and then if you practice well, if you practice properly, and if you purify your negativities, then you may have a very bad fever. And if you look at it from one life's perspective, it seems like because I do Dharma practice, I had this fever. But if you look at it from two lives, right? This life and the next life, 2 lives, then you can actually see that instead of being born in the hell realm and staying there for 10,000 years, you actually had a fever, and your negativity, your negative have been purified. Same goes with like cancer. Very, very bad the sickness, right? You have cancer, your stomach, because of your negative deeds, you will be born in the hell realm and cut. Your body will be cut 1,000 times for 1,000 years, and so on and so forth. But instead, you have cancer, or you have amputations. Your body was cut once, and your whatever bad thing has to be removed is being removed, and then you are able to undergo this suffering minimally because of your practices. So therefore, when we seriously practice in Dharma, engage in Dharma practices, we may get sick, and we may get not always. Some people, when they do Dharma practices, they prosper, they become very good. Some people, when they practice Dharma, their life seems to go down. And usually when it goes down, this is a very good sign that whatever purification ritual that you are doing is actually working out. Because now there's a word in English, it's called purging. So whatever negativity there is, instead of having to endure that in a hell realm or for a very long time, all these were like shortened, and then you experience that in this lifetime with just a fever or maybe some disease and this and that. So whenever you go through a negative consequence, you must never look at it from one life's perspective. You should always look at it from the past life and the future lives, and then you will be able to see the wider perspective. Okay, so please come to page number 130 and come to the third paragraph. So it says, basically, so to summarize, basically, when you are waking up, so when you wake up, it says, do not wake up like a cow or a dog. Just wake up and look for food, not like that. When you wake up, relax a little bit, relax your mind, and then observe your mind carefully. If you have done anything negative on the previous day, or if you have done something positive on the previous day, try to recall that, remember that. That actually is a good way to boost your memory. It's actually a very good way to boost your memory. Usually whenever we have a dream in the evening, the moment we wake up, we remember the dream. And if we are not careful, the dream gets lost. We lose that dream. And in the afternoon or right after, sometime after waking up, we forget the dream. So whether it's a bad dream or good dream, or the actions that we have committed in the previous night or the previous day, try to recollect that. And if there is something good, cherish it, rejoice, be happy, and then make a commitment that you will keep doing that. If you have done something bad, also confess about it, regret, repent that, and then try to change your ways. So when you wake up in the morning, remember what you have done the previous night, the dreams that you have had that night. If you have a good dream, be happy about it. If you have a bad dream, especially like in the dream you are killing somebody or doing something negative, cheating people or something like that, try to repent, your actions in the dream. And the same goes with when you are about to go to sleep. Don't just jump into your bed and go to sleep. Think about the good things and the bad things you have done today. Always be. It's not very difficult to when we are interacting with other people, we can always pretend to be good. We can pretend, and sometimes it's beneficial in our everyday day-to-day life. When we lie to people, cheat people, we get some benefit, right? But with ourselves, we must always be very honest with ourselves. If we try to cheat ourselves just like we cheat other people, then there is only one way for us to go, only downwards. Of course, it's not good to cheat other people, but sometimes we have no other way and we cheat other people, right? But you must never cheat yourself. If you start cheating yourself, if you start telling lies to yourself, then you start believing into your own lies, then you end up in this vicious cycle. Okay? So therefore, before go to sleep, tell the truth to yourself. The good action, the bad action. Usually this action itself may be seemingly positive, but what is your intention behind that action? Oh, you were giving money to that poor guy. Why do you give money to that poor guy? Because you want other people to see that you are giving money, you want to post something about that, or you want to tell other people, or you are simply motivated by the compassion within yourself that you really want to help that person you give it. So it depends. I'm not saying that taking pictures of giving charity is bad. Sometimes it helps to inspire people, but you have to ask yourself honestly, why am I taking a picture of giving a charity? Am I doing it for a selfish reason? Am I doing it to inspire other people? You have to be very honest with yourself. And once you start telling lies to yourself, and you start to believe in your own lies, then that lie, in Tibetan we say, Zungi Kolo, the wheel of lies, right? The wheel of lies. Once you are in that wheel of lies, it's like a dog chasing after its own tail. It's never ending. We don't want to end up with that cycle. So, most importantly, before you go to sleep, remember all the negative deeds and the positive deeds you did this day. Recall those things and be very honest with yourself. Yeah? And when you wake up in the morning, try to remember your dreams. Sometimes you forget to do those things in the night time, and when you wake up in the morning, you do those things. And lastly, when you have that sort of mindset, this is called the right state of mind. When you have such a right state of mind, then you will be able to, when you have that sort of right state of mind, then you will be able to bring other people around you to that right state of mind too. And there's a saying in Tibetan which is a person who does good is like a medicine plant. Anyone who rely on him will benefit. A person who does harm is like a poisonous plant. anyone who relies on him are destroyed. So therefore, when you try to cultivate a good mindset, good heart, then people who come around you, people who engage, will interact with you, will also benefit from you and also derive the same qualities that you have. Okay? If you do the opposite, then the same will happen to other people around you. So if you want to spread goodness around the world, then you have to be good yourself. If you want to spread negativity around the world, then you can start doing bad things from your side, and then bad things will grow very easily. Thank you. So we will wrap up here today. Let's do the dedication.